Let's start the presentation. So, yeah, my name's John Forfer. I've been developer relations for around a year at OpenXAI. What I specialize on is onboarding developers, builders into OpenXAI, building with open source AI models, and bringing people through into all the different hackathons that OpenXAI runs, and creating developer tutorials and guides on YouTube. So yeah, while we're here, just search my name up on YouTube, and you can see the link for my YouTube channel. All the previous workshops I run, I try and record just so you can refer to those at any time. Some of those make it through to the official OpenXAI channels. Some are more unofficial guides where I'm just teaching people how to sort of get the best prices for different products and tools, or use things locally on their computer. So yeah, really just there to help guide people in the new world of open source AI. So I wanted to run through a few slides just to talk about artificial intelligence. Now, some people have, they might be in a computer science background. Some might be in IT, where they don't really deep dive into artificial intelligence too much. I just wanted to give a quick overview. So what is artificial intelligence? Basically, it's computers. It's technology that enables computers and machines to simulate human intelligence to perform tasks. So it's essentially recreating sort of the magic of what human intelligence is, and then using AI and computing technology to be able to recreate that. So what the benefits of AI for when applied with intelligence and technology is the way that AI is actually trained, specifically for machine learning, is they take millions and millions of data points about a specific topic. Maybe it's an AI that knows how to play chess. What the AI engineers do is train that model on how to play the game chess, play millions of games of chess, have the AI play chess against another AI, and just continuously learn. And that's an example of machine learning, where you're taking a repetitive data set and then training a model to understand that data set and basically predict what's going to happen in the future. So whenever it is playing the next game of chess, it understands what a good move is that results in a positive outcome. The same thing can be applied with large language models. Again, training on massive data sets. There's a lot of innovation with training models. I won't get into all the details, but basically there's a huge open source community all around the world, and hopefully you guys can join in on, where there's approximately 2.2 million open source models that people have built and trained and put out there onto the internet that you can use. And you can use those AI models on your own laptop in applications that you build. So it's really powerful stuff. There's a huge community. You don't just have to use the latest Gemini, ChatGPT models. You can use all of these open source models that are free. Free not just once, not just for a 3-month period or 1,000 credits. They're free forever. So this is the value of open source AI. Some of the examples of AI just in the last sort of 10 years, you've seen a lot with virtual assistants. So primitive AI is Siri is probably one of the worst examples, but for Apple users, they have Siri on their phone. Google Assistant is another one. So when you click the microphone button, or you maybe have a Google Home hardware at your house, you can talk to that Google Assistant, which will then help you search or load up the next YouTube video. Obviously Alexa as well, if you're part of the Amazon ecosystem. So The other ones, examples over the last decade are GPS navigation. So like Google Maps, again, using machine learning, using the data set of thousands or millions of cars going through a certain highway or an intersection. They're able to use AI to help improve uh, routing. So to get from A to B on a Google map, they use a lot of AI to be able to predict the best path for you. And a lot of that technology uses that huge data sets and then applies AI. Streaming recommendations, again, finding uh, you know the types of music, the types of playlists and genre of musics, and finding out which customer persona or preference is best to apply that playlist to as the next recommended music. And apps like Spotify or YouTube Music use that. Spam filter, so hunting through, again, hundreds of millions of emails to figure out. Previously there was a button to just say this is spam, and then like the platform would figure out this type of email is most likely spam, therefore put it in the spam box. Now they're using AI, training specific models on millions of emails, and it's able to not have to wait for a human to say, yeah, this is spam, and then another 100,000 people to say this email is spam. AI can actually be trained up and have a really good ability to predict if this is spam and just put it into the spam box for you. And then obviously chatbots. Previously, there was a lot of sales bots, but now we have lots of, AI, ChatGPT chatbots, so websites where you can talk directly to the AI. When applied to government institutions, e-commerce companies, agriculture, banks in the Philippines, AI is starting to be rolled out at the government level as initiatives for industry to pick up on and start implementing. There's a lot of savings, cost savings and efficiency savings through the use of AI. So if you think there's like hundreds of people making decisions in an office to figure out where a complaint might go and who to hand that to, which department, AI can also use a lot of that data, that repetitive data, train a model, and then be used as a potential assistant or application for those workers in those, say, government departments handling complaints. It's important to know that when you roll out AI, all of those people that already work there are getting a 10x power boost. So they're able to process 10 times more complaints than what they did before. They'll find efficiencies and, bring whole departments and teams to be a lot more efficient. So it helps empower people in jobs. And then with the growth of AI in the Philippines, there's a massive demand for jobs. So people that are trained on AI, that know how to use AI, and they know how to apply AI in any situation, whether that's building a quick app today, or maybe it's participating in a hackathon, or maybe you have a job at work where you need to create a dashboard for your boss using a spreadsheet data, or maybe you just have an assignment at university that you need to complete. Knowing and understanding the latest tools in AI will help you, really improve your output of the work you do. And the basic idea is you automate a lot of the repetitive, boring things so you can actually focus on the core problem, the creative thinking. So we think that's a massive opportunity for Philippines. That's why we run these events across different universities across the Philippines. I'd also wanted to do a quick, discussion on what blockchain is, what Web3 is. So a lot of people might not have that basic understanding, as Ashton said before, of some of these primitives or some of the core building blocks. So what is a blockchain? So it's a special kind of database So a database is where you store massive amounts of data. Maybe it's customer data, maybe it's e-commerce data, but all that data goes somewhere. So with blockchain, it's a technology where it's able to distribute and share that data across multiple people that are running these servers or validator nodes, so that everyone keeps a copy of that data. It's not just one company, maybe they have an office around the corner, and if it sort of has a fire, that all of that data is lost. It's not one cloud provider like AWS storing the data. With blockchain, there's potentially hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people all keeping that data as a copy on their server. They might be running that validator server at home. They might be running their own validator server in the data center that they're renting. So this is the beauty of blockchain. So it's a decentralized ledger that stores data across multiple nodes, and everyone keeps a copy of it. So probably another thing that's important about blockchain, it is all that data and transactions are grouped into blocks. And then once a block is locked in, all the validator servers all around the world process it. They make sure that it's the valid data and no one sort of injected fake data into it. They all confirm that it's correct. They sort of acknowledge with each other. And then block one is processed by everyone around the world. Then another bunch of transactions and data is formed, and then they create block two, and then the network processes that globally as well. So each block is sequentially added and it becomes a blockchain. So what this means is you cannot change previous blocks. You can't go back in time to block one and edit the data that was there. It's permanent and it can be, it's trustworthy in terms of, because everyone in the world has a copy of it, everyone's already signed off that it's the correct block and correct data, then it's trusted into the network. It's not trusted by a central person or authority. So what type of things is this type of blockchain technology good for? You've probably heard of Bitcoin or maybe stable coins. It's fantastic for money and payments. So there's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week ledger where if Bitcoin wallet 1 sends 1 Bitcoin to the Bitcoin wallet 2, that transaction is stored on the blockchain, and there's no way to false spend or basically lie about that. I sent it to you, and then you turn around and say I didn't send it to you. Everything's recorded on the permanent blockchain, and it's transferred out of that wallet into the next person's wallet. So it's a great way to have a decentralized system that can monitor money transfer. There's a permanent record of where the money's flowing and which wallets have the money inside. The other thing that blockchain enables is ownership. So each person, which is what you'll do today, creates a wallet, and they have a private key or a passphrase that they can store locally on their phone, on their computer, or they write it down or etch it into metal. So there's lots of ways to store that private key. But once you have that private key, only you have access to that wallet. No one else does. So when there's a middleman or an intermediary party like a bank, they can choose, if you do something bad and you already have a bank account with them, they can actually close down your wallet, and then you lose access to your credit card, you lose access to online e-commerce, you lose access to, maybe it's Grab, so you can't get a taxi, you can't order some food. So you're in a real problem state. But in blockchain world, only you have the power and ownership of your wallet, and no one can take that away from you. So it's a fantastic thing in countries where maybe there's corruption, maybe there's a banking system that only favors rich people. with blockchain, everyone has equal access to create a wallet. The great thing of evolution in blockchain technology is smart contracts. So the ability to build complex applications such as lending protocols, or maybe it's archive storing of data, um, or maybe it's NFT minting, where you mint some artwork or a picture and it's stored on a blockchain where you can then sell it and buy it in a marketplace. So these are examples of smart contracts. This technology has been around for like 8 years, maybe 10 years now. It's nothing new, but it is becoming a lot more efficient every year, a lot more faster and cheaper to use. And a lot more people have wallets. And then the other one is just tracking and transparency. So when all this data is on the blockchain, you have full visibility of where the token, where the NFT, where the data is flowing, between which wallets, which smart contract is it engaging with, which application it's talking to. So these things are all transparent. And this is fantastic, especially in the Philippines. It's, like I said, it's transparent, it's secure, open, it removes the middleman. So this is really important. I do have examples, and maybe I don't have time today, but I have been building a transparency dashboard. So every government department in the Philippines, they have to post their financial records as part of a transparency seal. It's a government initiative. And I've built some dashboards showing that data from all the spreadsheets and PDF documents that they produce and put it out on the internet for free. You can take that data and build your own dashboard out of it. And that's something I've done in a previous video, so you can check that out. So what is crypto? So crypto is money. So when someone creates a token, there's a lot of protocols on Ethereum, on other chains, where it handles the tokenization of money. So you can create a token, maybe it's USD Tether or USDT, that stablecoin sort of backed by US dollars. And whenever someone has it in their wallet and transfers it to another person, there's that specific asset transfer is all tracked on blockchain, and it's kind of wrapped in this tokenization layer, which basically means it's $1. So that's the example of crypto. Again, I'm just doing a summary for those that aren't in the Web3 industry or AI. For those that don't know what gas fees are the small fee that you pay when you want to use the blockchain. So if you want to create a transaction, maybe you want to talk to an application and then submit some money into a liquidity pool, you'll pay a small fee to do that. And what that fee does, it helps pay all those people running the servers that I said before around the world. They get some gas fees, and that helps the network operators run those nodes. And as a user, you're paying that small fee. Now, some networks or blockchains are different. So Ethereum might have a $10 fee to do a transaction. We'll talk more about Base, but Base is a layer 2, which all it does, it makes Ethereum faster and cheaper to use. So really quick, and then a very small fee to use it. And this is beneficial for the end user, so you guys can enjoy Web3 technology without paying huge amounts of fees. People used to pay, $100, $200, $1,000 to do one transaction, like 8 years ago. Now you guys can do it for like 0.0001 cents and things. So what's the big deal about blockchain? So it lets anyone, anywhere, even in the Philippines, build apps, create businesses, send money to each other, own digital items without needing permission from a bank or a big tech company. So it gives the power back to the users and the developers. So with all that, what is Web3? Just a quick history. Back in 1990s, Web 1 was essentially read only. So people, the only people that would create content on the internet was a small group of, I guess, innovators and maybe the military in the US and sort of Silicon Valley companies would create a website, create the technology that the internet is today. It was very early days. Essentially, it's read only for the user. So the user would only be able to go to a website, look at some information like a bulletin board or like a simple website with HTML, and that's about it. So it was just like an information board. Web 2 came out, which obviously is still here, and that means it's read write. So you can interact with these websites, you can send emails, buy things with a credit card, send pictures or selfies on Facebook, things like that. So, search through the internet with Google. So that still means that a few big tech companies control everything. You can create your own little side website, but essentially it's the big players like Ashton said, Facebook, the Googles that sort of own and run everything that most people in the world use. With Web3, it's instead of read write, it's more read write own. So you have full ownership over the data, ownership over the assets, so the money, the tokens, maybe it's Ethereum or Bitcoin or Solana. You have ownership over the asset, the NFT image, the artwork, and then obviously you have full control and access to own those objects through a wallet. So that's massive. With Web3 and blockchain, this record book, the distributed ledger across thousands of devices around the world, basically means that data is distributed. It's not centralized to one company. It's immutable, so it cannot change if you go back in time on the blockchain ledger. And then it's transparent. So you can use an Explorer website to see all the transactions that have happened over the last 5 years pretty easily now. So what is Web 2 and Web 3? Again, we're just moving from that centralized platform, big company owned internet where you trust Facebook with your data, you trust Google with your data. With Web 3, it's decentralized across small node operators around the world. It's self-sovereign, so you control your identity and your ownership of assets, and basically creators, so people like yourself that might build an application, or maybe you're running a social network profile on Zora. You control that account, you control the money that goes in and out, you can control that data. So it's a very powerful place in the future where Web3 is rolling out. So with Web3, a lot of benefits for Philippines. So financial inclusion. So you don't need your dad's credit card, or you don't need a bank account or credit card history to access something. You can just get access for free straight away with a wallet. There's a creator economy, things like microtransactions or NFTs, where you can create an NFT, build up the value of it, or even create a token, build the value up, and then you can sell that on a marketplace. Job opportunities, so learning all this stuff. Again, it's still a small percentage of the world that knows about Web3, it knows how to build on Web3. So you're in the right place if you're trying to get a job in this new industry. And then lowering the barrier. So specifically with AI, OpenX AI helps you host and deploy apps and build apps, so you can easily be a part of this new world and build AI applications, and then try and build businesses around that. So today we'll be creating a Web3 wallet. So can I get a hands up if you have a Web3 wallet already? Just put your hands up if you have Phantom or MetaMask or Base already. And then put your hands down. And then if you don't have a wallet, put your hands up really high, 2 hands. So we have a few people that don't have a wallet yet. So make sure that you reach out to the people on the ground there that can help you create a wallet. So yeah, with the wallet, you can hold cryptocurrency assets or crypto assets, NFTs, and then access these applications.